Good evening and welcome to XYZ News. We are your hosts, Cash Morrell
and Jalen Arnold.
Here is your evening news for December 19th. Today we come to you with an update on the war in Korea. For those who may have forgotten, forces in the north invaded the south on June 25th, 1950, nearly succeeding in taking over the whole country. With the help of the US and the UN, the North Korean communists were pushed back. The country was then split at the 38th parallel. Today, we celebrate a ceasefire which was signed on July 27, 1953.
On the subject of changes, our country is beginning to see many of our own with the emergence of the civil rights movement. A case in 1954, Brown versus the Board of Education, has deemed the segregation of our public schools unconstitutional. Montgomery, Alabama has been seeing its own civil rights action as thousands of people boycotted the public bus system, leading to the Supreme Court ruling that segregation on buses is also unconstitutional.
Credit cards have been taking over the country by storm this decade. Introduced in 1950 by creators Frank McNamara and Ralph Schneider, credit cards provide convenience for buyers, allowing them to buy now and pay later. The credit card comes with a monthly bill that you have to pay back.
We have sad news to share as the much-loved show, I Love Lucy, announces its conclusion. The show began airing on October 15, 1951, and will be airing its last episode on May 6, 1957.
So I'm sure our viewers must have noticed about your new dress. Why don't you share a little about it in its fashion?
Oh, well, yes, sure. Women's fashion has been leaning more towards elegance because elegance is a much more desired trait in women. Women's clothing highlights the natural lines and figures of the modern woman. Notable designs include the poodle skirt and cocktail dress. However, in the men's department, more casual clothing is becoming more acceptable for non-business wear. Greased hair, white shirts, and leather jackets are becoming popular amongst adolescent boys. Children's clothing is often modeled after adults' clothing.
We have incoming news from the Pacific Ocean.
I'm Grayson Simmons reporting from Inook Atoll in the Pacific Ocean where the hydrogen bomb was just tested. This bomb is the most powerful bomb in the world. The hydrogen bomb was made by the United States scientists and the project was led by Edward Teller at Los Alamos, New Mexico. Back to you guys.
Well, that's certainly interesting. Now we have yet another surprise for everyone watching. Our news station has been in black and white for its entire existence, but today that all changes. We'll be switching to color in 3, 2, 1.
Thanks to Senator Joseph McCarthy, our country has entered into a state of mass paranoia at the thought of communism. People are beginning to refer to this panic as the Red Scare. Also, on the topic of communism, tensions between the US and the Soviet Union continue to grow as we wage a war against them and their communist agenda.
President Eisenhower, who helped form NATO, suffered a heart attack. He has been hospitalized but is expected to recover. Now please excuse us as we enter into a short commercial break.
Introducing Barbie, a brand new doll modeled after adult women to represent futures to little girls. Barbie is set to be released on March 9th, 1959.
And now we introduce our guest speaker, Elvis Presley.
Hey guys, I'm Elvis Presley. Hello.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and rock and roll?
Well, in 1957 I released One Night, and that became one of my biggest hits, and let me tell you, when that happened, I was on cloud 9.
So how has music impacted your life?
Well, I've gotten a bit of backlash from the older generations, but I think rock and roll is really hitting it big with youngster people. They seem to be having a blast with this new music.
So what is this new genre of music?
Rock and roll originated in 1954 and it is created from rhythm and the blues and country music. It's really been made possible by the technological advancements we've seen this decade.
Thank you, Elvis. That's it for today. But be sure to check in tomorrow for the special on economic prosperity we've seen in this country and how it's affected life in America. Also on tomorrow's special is the baby boom, where we've had 77 million new babies born thanks to all this extra cash. Have a great evening and good night.